Hey there, friends. Welcome to today's message. We're going to jump right in. I'm really excited to give this message. And not to blow smoke up anyone's ass, but I'm I'm just genuinely inspired by this message. I know there are some other spiritualists, some other practitioners in this little collective we have here, but just generally people that are very intentionally looking beyond the veil, if that's what you want to call it, and people that are also wanting to take a very honest look at themselves and at the things that they are needing to improve and are just ready to do it. And that's what this reading is really talking about. Let's get into it. The intention that I set for this one, because a message that came through was congratulations. This is just, I think, members of people's spirit teams wanting to give a little bit of encouragement and wanting you to know that you are coming up to a kind of breakthrough. You're approaching. I just think a lot of you are a lot farther along than you think, and you're a lot closer than you think. And let's talk about it. In the past issue that I am seeing that is connected to the present obstacles that are being overcome. The past issue is with a lot of planning and patience. I think in the last couple of readings, there's been a couple of drops of messages about potentially people's plans not going the way that they had planned. This is about, perhaps there were some oversights, or again, just things that the way that it is coming through are just things that you had to become aware of. These are not things that you could have prepared for or planned for. This was the learning part of, things that in the future now you will be able to adequately prepare for. Um, and just predict in that way, because now you have that experience. This is talking about, the things that you didn't know that you didn't know in the past. Things that would have, I'm seeing a specific situation that would have resulted in I think this is because of the major arcana that's present. I think this was like a kind of life decision that made you take a step back and really reevaluate. This could be a kind of situation where maybe even you surrounded yourself with people that you thought would, you would work well with, or something like that. There was some kind of trust here that you may feel was misplaced, or there was just something that was overlooked, right? Something that you feel like you missed, that you shouldn't have missed. And so there was a kind of retreating that happened. There was a going inside. There could have even been like a period of kind of questioning your own discernment, your ability to, or maybe even your clairvoyance, your ability to kind of perceive future outcomes in that way. Generally could have just kind of shaken your sense of security in your own discernment and ability to really take like measured steps, is kind of what I'm seeing. This is something that, again, could have put you in a period of isolation, either like out of necessity or just a desire. I'm seeing there could have been, I'm sensing hurt feelings just kind of around, or kind of like jadedness almost around a certain experience, and kind of how that has affected your perspective moving forward. A piece of light that can come out of this situation, because I'm seeing that there's still, a little bit of um alchemy that feels like is happening right now with this energy, where we're alchemizing this what like could be perceived as a mistake into, right, a lesson that is empowering. I'm seeing there might be a little bit of what is the word I'm looking for? One of the silver linings, I guess, is that there can be a newfound sense of independence extracted from this experience, one that can enable you to view relationships as additions, like as bonuses, as opposed to things that are required. And again, I'm seeing like the process of that experience was not at all enjoyable. I don't think this was like, these are hard kinds of lessons. These are unexpected kinds of lessons that once you have the time and space away from the experience itself, I think that is an understanding that you will naturally come to, because there is again this intentional focus on growth. Um, but that is just what, I see you moving towards, away from this kind of more turbulent experience. Like I'm seeing that there is a newfound sense of independence and a greater understanding of your capabilities to kind of just do whatever it is that needs to be done, with or without someone's assistance, really. Present obstacles that I'm seeing being overcome are, there was some kind of belief, and it very well could be tied to this past experience, right? Because this is the kind of the healing of that feeling that you can't trust yourself in addition to others. You know what I mean? I think you would like expect almost kind of other people to maybe have some kind of, ulterior motives, but this is more like feeling like you couldn't trust your own heart, or feeling like, and I think the way that it's coming through is very that it's more of like almost this cut off, or I shouldn't say cut off, this kind of limited the capacity that you could access like your heart chakra energy, that energy that really opens us up to um experiencing others in a very close way, and that allows others to experience you in that way. This could be something that you struggled with even prior to that. This feels like it was a kind of almost a confirmation that either your own intuition or other people can't be trusted, or that it's safer to kind of do things on your own, or it's that kind of narrative that it is just easier, better, safer, smarter to be alone, to do things by yourself, that others can't be trusted. It's getting at all of that. But again, what I'm seeing, because there has been this very intentional moving toward and like seeking healing and greater understanding and more harmony, not just with others but internally, because you understand that that is really all that there is the internal peace, that people are going to people, but you have to be able to maintain your head in the storm, so to speak. This is I'm seeing your heart chakra allowing more of that energy to come through, and this is talking about the healing of that root chakra energy that makes us feel unsafe, that makes us feel like there isn't enough, or whatever that case may be. This is literally talking about, this Ace of Swords is like clarity that this is why I was saying at the beginning of this video, I was just like, I was so inspired by this reading, because this is a kind of clarity that is connecting your crown to your heart to your root. And obviously there we have some in between there. There are way more than just the main seven. Not the point. Point is that this is, I feel like this is for someone who like, you have in the past had to either be fully tuned into one of these. Does that make sense? It's like either you were able to really focus on your safety and security and maybe like, your physical assets and like work and those types of more like root chakra things, and you could flourish in that and focus on that. But then these other aspects like your relationships and your own self-care and maybe your connection to your spiritual practice and maybe even your mental health suffered as a result of really being able to pour into that root energy, and then take it wherever you need to. If you were more focused on really fostering your emotional connections, and you were really focused on loving on yourself and the people around you, and caring for those relationships, and everything else fell by the wayside. You know what I mean? It's like there were only times when you could focus on each of these in a kind of compartmentalized way. This is about bringing in that harmony and that balance, that I'm feeling like such a sense of persistence, and like the congratulations that I was getting was like I was just seeing someone that has overcome the kind of emotion that is like gets stirred up when I'm just feeling like a sense of exhaustion that maybe in the past you would kind of just allow to overcome your being. Like I'm just seeing someone kind of like just give in to the exhaustion that is present, and kind of again, things as a result fell into a kind of neglect almost. But this is like I'm just seeing someone kind of have a conversation with themselves, you know what I mean? This is like if you've been trying to create some type of self-care habit maybe at the end of your day, right? When you're already exhausted, but you know that you need to be able to sit down and kind of sort through your feelings or whatever, just go through your day so that you can go to sleep and have a more peaceful kind of experience. But it's like, oh, I'm too exhausted to go take a shower and brush my hair and my teeth and, change my clothes like I know would make me feel better in the morning when I wake up. But it's like, so you have this weight of this habit that you usually don't take care of yourself weighing on you, and it would just be so easy to once again kind of give into that really heavy exhaustive energy. But it's like your higher self steps in and you allow it to kind of take charge in that way, and you allow yourself to do the self-care routine. um I'm getting a little bit of like if you can be even more, bring more consciousness into the self-care routine, be aware of your thoughts, listen to yourself think. And if you are like, what, like speak out loud to yourself as you're doing what you're doing to become more aware of your thoughts in that way. And tell yourself more positive things. Tell yourself that you really love and enjoy taking care of yourself and how grateful you are to be able to, do whatever it is that you're doing, and to um be able to kind of love on yourself in that way. Just reframe the kind of more tedious things so that they really, when they become more second nature and easy, it's you're making it a more positive experience. It's not some kind of obligation. You know what I mean? You're not an obligation. You deserve all of that care and all of that love. Um, what is approaching us future outcomes? I'm seeing you trusting your intuition so much more. And if you haven't been, trust your intuition more. That's, again, part of what this is meant to point you towards, that yeah, you could have, maybe there were some things that you were like, that might be kind of a problem, but you're like, but we'll just brush it under the rug or whatever. Trust your intuition. It is your friend. um this could even be maybe in practice where like you are talking to your past self. If you do that, try to do it in a positive light. Do it in a way that you would like to be spoken to. Like if someone, with a little more information than you was trying to help guide you and not make you feel dumb. Most people don't like being spoken to in condescending ways. Don't talk to yourself in a condescending way. Everyone has these kinds of missteps. Moving forward through, I feel like there may be some, administrative is like the word that is coming to mind, but maybe it's just more like tedious kinds of stuff. Maybe there is actual paperwork involved, but it feels like there are certain things that kind of have to be taken care of prior to you moving in this like new direction that I am seeing you are approaching. But I see you trusting your intuition, handling those things. Again, this is where that kind of congratulations, where it's just like, I'm going to do this because this is what is best for me. This is what is in my best interest. Future me will be grateful, and I'm taking care of myself. So this is what we're going to do. And when you do that, I'm literally seeing, and they're like, you're so close. Like you are at the imagery of this card is literally someone that is standing on the edge, and it's like there's a little piece of this path missing, but it could easily just like, you don't even have to jump. It's literally just you need to take a little bit further of it, like a little bit bigger step. Just extend your damn knee all the way forward, and like you'll be able to bridge that gap. And then I like, boom, it's just like things become, it's just like everything falls into place, everything becomes clear. And part of this, hey, spoiler alert, is that you will be meeting people that are going to be so happy to know you. And whatever it is that you guys are about to create and build together is going to also help go back and heal some of those other um moments when you had been kind of let down or disappointed by others, when you felt like uh you were proven right, that you can't depend on other people and you shouldn't, and all those other kinds of things that we tell ourselves when ultimately we just truly are wanting connection but feel like we aren't getting it. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to pull an oracle for you guys and then I'll let you go. We have number 24 out here, Aquila. Power. I know I've pulled this one in the past. This one looks familiar to me, but maybe not in the recent past. Let's see what it has to say. Power. It says you have power. It is real. True power means ethical power. Hold on to your boundaries. True power involves service and benevolence. Strong leaders lead by example. You know when you are in the presence of power. All right, you guys. That is all I have for you this time around. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. If this reading resonated, you want to let me know, feel free to drop a like or a comment. I really do love hearing from you guys, and it does help me out greatly with the algorithm. So thank you. And that's all that I got. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.